Tech Time. What's up, everyone? Back at you again with another video. And I know it's been a while, but I haven't had time really to put out a video, but finally made time and I picked up the M1 MacBook Pro 13-inch. Obviously there's no bigger display model yet, and basically if you're in the market for a laptop, I'm not talking just Windows, I'm talking Mac and Windows. If you're in the market for a laptop, this is the laptop to get. You know what, let me just take this out, this nice case I got right here by Encase. Yeah, Encase. I like to protect my devices. You know, I didn't have a case for my laptop because I never used it that much anyway, but I just didn't really bother to do it. But I don't know, this just feels much more delicate that I gotta put in the case. So let me take the case off and let's talk about this thing. All right, so the case is off of this thing, and just look at that. You see how the light bounced off of that? Amazing. This just feels so premium and so polished. So this is definitely well done. You know, obviously this is my first MacBook, and I'm really excited about this purchase and really happy with this purchase. So by me saying I was using the Mac Mini to edit videos, that means I'm at home at a desk of some sort, you know, editing on a monitor, and getting the MacBook Pro would be more beneficial. That way, if I ever, you know, well, let's say just traveled or go somewhere and, you know, I want to edit on the go, I got Final Cut Pro with me. Didn't even try to rhyme on that, but that's basically it. I'm pretty sure a bunch of other YouTubers feel the same way, who use Final Cut Pro, that it is beneficial to get a Mac for editing on the go. So I'm pretty sure y'all seen all the reviews about this powerful beast M1 chip, and I can vouch for that. This thing is very powerful. I only had it for a week, so I haven't did much, and like I said, I barely have time to really do stuff like I used to. You know, maybe going forward I'll probably have a little bit more time, but I've barely been able to really play around with it like that. Like, this is about to be my first time editing a video on this, so I had to put maybe in the description of how that process went. And based off all these other YouTuber results, this thing's gonna fly through video editing way faster, theoretically, than my i5 Mac Mini from 2018. So I already know this thing is gonna beat that in terms of, you know, processing and exporting, you name it. So let's go with some things that I love about this beautiful device. One being Touch ID. I love Touch ID. I have Touch ID, or, you know, fingerprint ID on my Windows laptop. So having that on the MacBook Pro is definitely a plus. It's just not like I really lost anything switching over. The display is really good. At first, coming from a 4K display, I'm like, man, I don't know, like, I feel like my laptop was much more crisper. Obviously, it was more crisp being 4K versus 2K, but I don't know, after a couple of days, playing on watching videos, colors look great. Screen is just nice and bright, natural colors, and it's just like, I don't know, looking at this thing, I love the display. One thing I will say is that right out the box, especially coming from a bigger laptop, the 16-inch, right out of the box, I thought this thing was too small on the table. But I lounge around like the iPad mini. Yeah, we just compared it, like, you know, the iPad mini to like a smaller laptop compared to, you know, what I've used. And I'm sitting on the desk, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, this thing's kind of small. I'm like, man, did I make the, you know, right decision getting this size? But there's really no option if I want, you know, a M1 MacBook right now. No other option. I have to get like a Intel based, and I just felt like there's no point in getting an Intel based. There's a reason why Apple started using in-house processors, which is a perfect move because you see how powerful the iPhones and iPads are. So yeah, there was no, you know, return it to get an Intel Mac because, like I said, I got a PC. I don't need an Intel Mac. Still got the Mac Mini if I need to do something Intel based, I guess. But yeah, so I thought this was a little too small for my liking, but I adjusted, and it's great. It's a perfect size. Like I said, I can palm this thing. It can, you know, go like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this thing is incredible. It's one thing I don't understand why, you know, YouTubers or people don't like is the touch bar. Now, I think I read that maybe the touch bar would give people like issues, like being laggy, but I don't know. I haven't had any issues with the touch bar, and honestly, I find it beneficial. Okay, if I want to quickly mute the audio, just tap that button right there. I can adjust the volume with the slider. I don't know. I just feel like the touch bar is definitely beneficial on the MacBook Pro. And this touch bar, you know, fingerprint reader and the built-in fan is the reason why I picked the MacBook Pro over the MacBook Air. Now, yeah, I could have saved a couple $100 picking the MacBook Air up, but those things are a little beneficial to me, even though I would say the fan, maybe not so much because of the Apple's processor and how things work. Me video editing or whatever I'm doing on here probably won't utilize the fan that much, but it's still good to have just in case. So, and the slightly brighter screen and a slightly bigger battery, even though in real world tests the MacBook Air is extremely close. Saving a couple $100, you really couldn't go wrong with either, but in this case I chose the MacBook Pro and I'm happy with the purchase. Now this model I have is 512 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM. It was already getting pricey, so that was like I had to get the 512 gigabytes, picked up a portable SSD, just for future proof wise, because I don't see myself upgrading, you know, this MacBook anytime soon, because as we all know, Apple products last a long time. Also, like the larger trackpad gives you more room to scroll and, you know, just be a little bit more free, have a little bit more area, a little bit more room. Like I stated before, personally, I don't like trackpads on laptops. I always, you know, use the mouse, but this one's actually been pretty tolerable. Like, I don't know, just the scrolling, it kind of mimicking a touchscreen in a sense, kind of it's all beneficial. So I haven't had any issues with using a trackpad like that. Still prefer to use a mouse. I feel like give you more control over things. So a couple things that's disappointing about this is 2 ports. I know as tech evolves and all this and that, it seems like companies take more and more away compared to how it was a few years ago, but it's a little unacceptable to have 2 USB-C ports and a headphone jack. Now, I'm thankful that there's a headphone jack there. Thankful that there's 2 USB-C ports instead of 1. Don't even know how that would be if there was only 1, but anyway, you know, but still, like, you know, 1 USB-A port or something, maybe 2 more extra USB-C ports would have been more beneficial. I know companies do it, you know, for the aesthetics and to determine how thin a device is going to be, which I don't know, it's kind of crap. But just, you know, having a dongle, it's kind of like what you need. You need to have a dongle now, and then I don't know, I just feel like that's not really ideal in a lot of situations. So that's a little disappointing. That's only 2 ports. The other MacBooks probably have like another port or something like that. But yeah, for the most part, if you were looking for a laptop to get, I say go with the M1 MacBook Pro or MacBook Air. You know, but I'm curious to know what you think. So put it in the comments below. Stay tuned for a review. Like I said, I just got this like a week ago. Haven't really been able to play around with it. But yeah, so while you're at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so you get notified when I upload. As always, salute to the flag. It's for the love of tech. Now I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.